Okay, welcome to this section of Chapter 3. We're going to be talking about the problems of Indian agriculture. And in this section, there are actually 6 problems that we're going to focus on. The first of them is a lack of permanent irrigation. Secondly, the deficiency of finance. Third, conventional outlook. Fourth, small and scattered holdings. Fifth, exploitative agrarian relations. And the last one, the lack of an organized marketing system. Now, as we look at the first one, the lack of means of permanent irrigation, this is a big problem for India because it means that India is heavily dependent on rainfall because there are no means of sourcing water when it isn't raining. So for that reason, India is still heavily dependent on rainfall. Unfortunately, this is something that should have been addressed a long time ago, but has yet to be addressed nationwide. Next, let's move on to the deficiency of finance. There are 2 forms of agricultural investment. One is short-term and one is long-term. Short-term is necessary for the immediate crop that's coming up in the giving season. However, long-term is for bigger equipment that will relay bigger results across a longer time frame. So Indians, unfortunately, have limited access to both of these, short-term finance and long-term finance. And this is very detrimental to the agricultural system itself, and this is one of the reasons why output is not being maximized. Next, the conventional outlook. So when we think about a conventional outlook, the opposite of that is forward thinking. And would we declare Indian farmers to be forward thinking? No, unfortunately, they're stuck in their ways and they are very, very risk averse, which means they don't want to take risk. They need to be more risk prone and be willing to take on loans in order to ensure that they can maximize their output in the future. Now, let's take a look at small and scattered holdings. So this is an issue about how the land itself is distributed, not what's being done on the land. So if an individual has a small parcel of land, it doesn't justify spending a huge amount of money for investing in a tractor or a trailer because there's no need for such equipment. And because there's no need for such equipment, the land itself is not being optimized. So because the land holdings are very, very small, large-scale investment is kind of ridiculous. Because large-scale investment is ridiculous, output cannot be maximized. Moving forward, there's a relationship that occurs between the landowners and the land workers, and that's very exploitative in India. The majority of the landowners don't actually work on the land. They actually hire hands to work on the land, and those people are paid a salary at a bare minimum. Basically, they're just surviving. They're on subsistence levels of wages. Now, this is because the owners of the land want to be able to maximize their profits. However, if they took a longer view approach and thought about this more carefully, they may in fact benefit by giving the workers a higher salary by encouraging them to increase output and working together to fix some of the aforementioned problems. Next, there's a lack of an organized marketing system. So how do they sell their produce? Well, the majority of the produce that is sold, that isn't used for subsistence, is sold at local markets at prices far less than they could achieve in urban centers or in proper retail establishments. And this is one way that they are again losing money. So what do we have here? If we take a look at the summary of the problems, you could see this entire agricultural system is in absolute disarray. There are problems related to irrigation, there are problems related to the mentality of the farmers, there are social and moral and even economic issues that lead to inefficient distribution of resources here.